Hey everybody, Sway's here, and just got out of the shower, and an interesting thought occurred to me while I was in the shower. And to begin this video, I'm going to start by reading the dictionary definition of the word hero, and and it's and that definition says a person who, in the opinion of others, has heroic qualities or has performed a heroic act and is regarded as a model or an ideal. That's pretty heavy, don't you think? And I know a lot of people, if they were asked, well, who's your hero? They would lean back in thought for a couple minutes and probably say someone who has made such an impact on their life that they want to model themselves after that person. And, that's a very good answer because that's probably what I would have said. And I know there's a couple people in my life that I would definitely consider heroes. But the word hero, I think, has been thrown around too lightly as of late. And I think some of you will tend to agree with me. Last week when Whitney Houston died, overdosed herself, because let's be honest with ourselves, we don't have to see an autopsy to be 99.9% sure what was going on in her life. And this isn't an attack. Okay, yes, it is an attack on celebrities, but I think people, and especially younger teens, like 13, 14, throw the word hero around too lightly, because in that's a very heavy definition. Someone who has heroic qualities or regarded as a model or an ideal. And these celebrities today that I hear people talking about, oh, they're my hero. They're not deserving of that title. I mean, last week when Whitney Houston died, there was so much press surrounding her death, so much coverage of her death that it was too much, really. And people all of a sudden came out of woodwork saying, "Oh, we loved you, Whitney. You died too young. Why did you have to leave us?" And I got kind of pissed off at that because, one, Whitney Houston was never in the news in the past. I never heard about her in the news. She had a little bit of press when Bobby Brown started smacking her around, but that was about it. And I don't recall anything previous before that. In this society we have, it takes a death for us to realize how important a person was. And unfortunately, in this crazed capitalistic society that we have, usually when someone does die and it's a celebrity that we all know, we pay way too much attention and give them way too much attention for like Whitney Houston, because this entertainment business news reporting, fake news reporting, like Entertainment Tonight and Access Hollywood, which I don't understand why those are even television shows. I swear to God, in the past week alone, half their show has been dedicated to Whitney Houston. And it's starting to get annoying because, yes, she did die. And yes, she was a magnificent singer in the past. But I think we're giving this too much attention almost, because she basically killed herself. And it's the same thing that happened with Don Cornelius. Don Cornelius shot himself. And now, while it is two different cases, Whitney Houston was just addicted to cocaine. Don Cornelius was clinically depressed. I mean, I don't hear anybody giving Don Cornelius that kind of attention. And this has gone on forever. If you look back to when Amy Winehouse overdosed, people came out of the woodwork saying, "Oh, she's such a great artist." She sang about not wanting to go to rehab when she had a problem. Now, I always hated that song because I think it gave people the wrong idea. And I still hate that song because it does give people the wrong idea. And I'm surprised radio stations are even playing it, because everyone knew that this woman had a drug and alcohol problem. and she just decided, oh, I'm gonna sing about not going to rehab, and it's like a number one hit. When this is a serious problem that has many faces in our society, because it's Whitney Houston overdoses from cocaine. 300 billion people know about it. Some kid in Detroit overdoses from cocaine. 7 people know about it. There's a nothing. And people come out and say that Whitney Houston's their hero. Why? What has she done? And I know the same thing happened with Michael Jackson. When Michael Jackson overdosed himself as well, because we all know that trial was phony as hell. When he overdosed, people came out of the woodworks, and he had a big whole ceremony of his life. What people forget, he molested children. He was a pedophile. And I know he had kids of his own, but you can't deny that something strange did go on inside that house. And I'm going to put a comic up right here that kind of I found on Funny Junk earlier that I think really describes what's been going on. I mean, that's pretty much how it happens. The same thing happened. It happens with anybody in the public eye, any celebrity. They die, even if it's their own fault, even if it's a drug overdose, which they caused, and you know we worship them for it. But there's some of these other people who have done it in the past, have skipped out on this rehabilitation, and done it again, and then they died, and people hero worship them, and it's not the right thing to do. Now, a lot of people, I'm probably, if this does get more than 5 views or whatever, it's probably going to be, I'm probably going to get some negative comments, but let them come, because everyone knows that this is right. Everyone knows that we, as a society, we ignore the true heroes for someone who's just popular. And that happens all the time. Happens even in high school. Like a high school election just turns into a basic popularity contest. So, I could talk for 3 hours on this. I'm not gonna. I could yell, rant your ear off. I mean, there's a lot of other people I would like to get to, but I'm gonna save that for sometime else, because I'm sure there's a million people who I could talk about, a million of these celebrities who people act like people worship the ground they walk on, and they're really not deserving of that at all. So I'm just gonna end it off here, because like I said, I could talk for this for 3 hours. So comment below, rate the video, subscribe. I'll probably put out a couple more videos today. It won't be as all negative. I'm going to talk about some other things. So Sways out.